Hey, gals and guys, it's Christopher Mosher from MyMediaHelper.com, and you probably can't tell in the background it is raining cats and dogs. Cats and dogs living together, mass hysteria. It's really pouring out there, so it's a good day to do a video. I was actually going to do a Drupal tutorial video, how to set up Drupal, and I kind of backstepped and thought about it, and I kind of thought I haven't really made a video like this as far as content management systems and what someone who's looking to get a content management system going to choose, because there's so many now out there. It just probably makes your head explode, right? So I'm going to go over the three major open source content management systems. I'm going to go over some of the paid services, and then this is kind of a precursor to the Drupal tutorial that I wanted to do, and probably the one once I get to it, because I start a new job tomorrow, so I'm going to have less time to do stuff like this. But I am going to do a Drupal tutorial, how to set that up and how to use that. So that will be coming your way. I'm sure you're all excited. So let me talk about content management systems. So the big three are, if you're not aware, are WordPress, which like 68% of the world uses WordPress for their websites. There's Drupal, which is supposed to be more secure, and I'm going to address that because I don't think that's necessarily true. In a way, it's true. And then Joomla is the other big. Now, there's a gentleman here. There's actually 3 articles that I was reading through, and this gentleman had a good breakup of, if I could find the damn thing, here it is. Let me get my dopey head out of the way. Here's a good representation, I think. This is a good chart. So as you can see, WordPress, this says about 60% of the world. I mean, has WordPress, uses WordPress content management system. You can see Drupal. And then Joomla. So a lot of like government municipalities use Drupal, but they also use WordPress and Joomla. Magento, I think I've heard it in passing. I've never used it, so I'm going to have to use that at some point. So let's take a look at what they look like, the sites look like overall, because you probably, as just a normal spectator of going on websites online, you probably don't know how. Oh, you don't go onto this website and say, "Wow, this was created by WordPress. Wow, this was created by Joomla." I don't even know that. At times, sometimes I do, but most of the time I don't. So this is my site. This is WordPress, and you can tell this. So if you go into the source code here, and I really can only do this with WordPress. I can always tell what a WordPress site is. So, and I'll show you how I do. Here we go. You see this WP content themes, WP content theme, so WP, right? WordPress. So let's get that. Now they say Drupal is more secure, right? That's why it's used by municipalities. That's used by the government. But here we go. This is whitehouse.com. Which you think would be the most secure site, the most secure open site, right? Where people can go to and look at the content on there. You'd think that'd be the most secure site in the world, maybe, you think? So let me show you. If you go to the source code, WP content. So the whitehouse.com uses WordPress, the same fucking content management system I do. There's nothing wrong with that. WordPress is secure. The big debate is, okay, is Drupal more secure than WordPress? I don't think so. I think it's just like in comparison to like Macintoshes and Windows-based computers. There are a hell of a lot more Windows-based computers out there in the world than there is Macs. Sorry, Mac users. There's nothing wrong with Macs. It's so people that want to screw up your freaking computer, hackers, they're going to target where they can do the most damage. And they can do the most damage on Windows. They can do the most damage on WordPress because it's used by so many more people, right? Exponentially, it would make sense that it could do more damage to something that's out there more, right? So I think that's the big debate where the Drupal and the WordPress comes into as far as security is concerned. I've never had a problem with WordPress. I might have had an article or something where someone put in some code, but I just went in and updated the plugin and stuff. That was my bad. You always have to update your plugins. But I've never had any security issues, and they happen. They happen with WordPress, Joomla, Drupal, any fucking site. You read all day long that there's security breaches in really major high used websites. So let's get that out of that's getting that out of the way first thing. Second thing, I've done a lot of tutorials lately, and I'll probably do them till the end of the year, just going into free website content management systems. Free as far as there's either you have a free trial for a certain amount of days, or you only have so many of their services you can use. And if you want the bells and whistles, right, you go out and you purchase whatever package, because they're a business and obviously they need to make money, right? Pay their employees and their CEOs and all that fun stuff. So these are some I went over. Weebly actually, yeah, Weebly's out. I went over Squarespace. So right now you can go on there and look at these. There's some other ones coming out yet I haven't posted yet. So GoDaddy and Jimdo. So really the only reason I'm bringing these up and the point of this is to the fact that the back end is really pretty much all the same, drag and drop. So if you're going out and saying, oh my God, Jesus, there's so many content management systems, which one do I choose? I think it all comes down to price, in my personal opinion. They all pretty much function the same. Usability as far as a newbie going on here, there's not that much of a learning curve. So I think you're safe on going with any of them. So to me, it's just a matter of price and what do you want to pay each month. And each of these services have different price points. If I was to give you any advice, go with something that's been around a while, because you never know. Like I did Yola.com. I didn't know what the hell Yola.com was, and I don't think a majority of people do. You know who Weebly is, you know who Squarespace is overall if you're a computer nerd. Yola. So is Yola going to be around forever? Do I want to build a website on that and then they're gone in another month? So definitely go with something that's been around. And sorry, newbies, you're going to have to gain the trust into the fact that you're going to be around a while and work on your pricing. So I think all these are overpriced. But the reason they're overpriced is because you're using their back end. And a lot of people that are getting these sites, I'm going to do Wix too. That's another one. A lot of people that are getting these sites don't necessarily have someone that can do them for them. They're kind of like small business, medium business and stuff like that. And that's why a lot of people just purchase it and it's all taken care of by the company and all they have to do is add their content. Okay, so that's the second thing I wanted to get into. So the third thing is, okay, so what if you wanted to do it yourself, right? So I've got WordPress tutorials. That's what I started this channel with. I'm going to start Drupal tutorials, how to set things up, how to use Drupal. And then eventually I'll get to Joomla. And I did want to touch on Sharepoint just a little bit, not too much. So these are more for internal sites. So for if you work at a company or you can do, I mean, obviously I have an Office 365 license. So here's a Sharepoint site right here. And as you see up here in the URL, I don't have a rented or purchased domain name. All I have is this myMediaHelper.inc.sharepoint.com. So you don't get domains for these, at least not yet. I don't know if SharePoint's going to change their mind on that. And this is just one of the websites that I created for SharePoint. You can kind of tell that you got a SharePoint site by just going into the source code and there you go, office.net. You just see that right there. The only good thing about getting a domain, which you can get a domain for a SharePoint site, and I don't want to confuse you too much, is for your email address. So you can link a domain to a SharePoint, so you can have distinguished email addresses. Like, so for instance, I could have contact@mymediahelper.com or info@mymediahelper.com, or just Christopher Mosier at mymediahelper.com. So if you do have a business, you can get those distinct email addresses for your employees. And everything Microsoft talks to each other pretty much. It all links together. So that's why you can do that. But again, as far as getting domains, not yet. You can't put this out. Again, people do, but not a lot. And you can redirect the URL just to confuse you even more. So you can do a redirect, but a redirect is just going to go here, meaning you can purchase a domain name and then redirect it to this page that we're looking at now. They're not technically linked together. It's just redirecting. So that's totally different. And you can do that. You're still going to see this when it goes to the main page. So I hope that didn't totally confuse you. SharePoint, internal use, and there's other content management system. This is considered a content management system, and there's other internal content management systems out there. SharePoint's the big one. You might see others, but I just wanted to touch upon it. So at least you kind of knew the difference. All right, I wanted to touch upon these like Blogger. There's a lot of sites like Blogger out there, and it's exactly like its namesake, right? You go on there, you write a blog, you share content, media content. It's technically a content management system. You're managing your content. That's all content management is, right? It makes total sense. Content management system. You're managing your content, not only in the back end, but so you present it to people who want to go like, here's a cooking, well, it was just or family adventure or whatever that is. That's the content you're organizing. That's the content you're presenting. So Blogger's okay for individuals if you just want to go write a blog, like a diary. I used to write it. I'm 52 years old. I used to have a diary, and we used to have a thing called paper and pens and pencils. I don't think they make those anymore. So that's basically what this is for. You can use it for a business, I suppose. I think you can, I'm not 100% sure, but I'm pretty confident you can have a domain on Blogger. So I should do a video on Blogger actually at some other point. I'm just not going to do it in this particular video. So blogging sites, not necessarily for businesses. And this is kind of what this is touching upon this video. So I would just use it for blogging personal stuff and I don't know, share recipes or shit like that. So let's get into the open source content management systems, because that's kind of the path that I started and wanted to lead to. So let me show you. This is a this is a Drupal. I'll just show you the three different and see if you can tell the difference. This is created by Drupal. This particular page, the reason I know this is because I worked there. So I know. This is, I already shared the whitehouse.com. That's WordPress. And so is my site is also WordPress. So you can't really, can I do a comparison here without making it look too weird? So you can't really tell the difference, right? And then the next one's going to be Joomla. This is Joomla, United Nations. The only reason I know that is because I looked it up. I don't know if you could tell by the code. You probably can tell by the code. I just don't know. I don't use Joomla that much. Why does that say Drupal though? Okay, that's interesting. Did they switch? I did look this up. So that says Drupal, but that's just JavaScript. So interesting. Oops. Drupal content. Oh, all right. So Drupal. They must have switched because I looked it up and it said it was a Joomla site. So there you can tell it's a Drupal site. So I take that back. United Nations is a Drupal site, and that's how I know. And let me find a Joomla site for you. All right, National Crime Agency, the NCA. Over in the UK, I already looked at this one, and I know this one's Drupal. So again, go to source code or not Drupal. This is Joomla. I misspoke. I misspeak a lot. So okay, so you can see this is a Joomla site. So again, you can't really tell. They kind of all look the same. But if you look at the code, it looks like in all three, we can tell which open source content management system it comes from or is utilized by it. So when I say open source, it's exactly what it is. Anyone can go and grab it and they can download it and they can manipulate it and they can do whatever the fuck they want to do with it because it's not sitting on anyone's system. It's going to sit on a host. So that's another thing that you have to purchase. You have to purchase a place where you're going to place your content, where your pictures and your video and all that stuff goes. So most people just get a hosting service. I use HostMonster. I'll show you what that is in just a minute. The ones I recommend is HostMonster, HostGator, and Bluehost. Those affiliate links are down in the description. Those are affiliate links. So if you do happen to purchase, then I'll get some type of commission off them, just so you know. I always make that transparent. But those are three that I recommend. I use HostMonster and never had a problem with it. Or you can host your own server. Do most people host their own server? No. Have I ever done it? Yes, I've done it once. I've used Windows Server once, and it was too much of a pain in the ass, so I stopped doing that. All right, and just to make it extra confusing, there's also the cloud, which if you're a newbie, I wouldn't recommend delving into the cloud at all. I mean, you hear that a lot from people now. It's been around for years. It's just being really, really more mainstream, more pushed now. And you can, here's my cloud. I've been using it through Amazon, their S3 service for years. Basically, the cloud is just putting information all over the fucking place. So it's easier access. and major redundancy, and just load times are faster, and that's why everyone's going to the cloud. And basically, it's just this, and it's just storing data. It's the same as a server, right? You're just storing data someplace. It just happens to be in different parts of the world, different parts of a country, and so on. So it's for easier access as someone's accessing it. Just for instance, I live in New York. If there's a server in New York, you get the information faster. If there's a server in China and I live in New York, obviously it takes time to get that information to you. If you know more about the cloud, I got a cloud expert, so maybe that's simplified that I just explain it. I just know how to use it, and I kind of have an idea what it is, and then it's pretty inexpensive. Let me go back here. This is all. I just have pictures and video on here. I don't host WordPress or anything on there. I don't even know how to do that, but I know it can be done. And sometime I'll teach myself. So I just wanted you to be aware of the cloud. Don't worry about it. If you get a paid service, they take care of hosting all the information. And same with HostMonster, HostGator, Bluehost. They host the information. You don't have to worry about it unless you have your own server. So I just wanted to mention it. That's all. Don't worry about it. It's not that big a deal. Okay, let's continue. All right, and this is where you find the content. I'll put these links down in the description as well. These are the open source content management systems. So this is Joomla, obviously, because it says Joomla, right? And it says Joomla up here, joomla.org. So that's where you could download the package, or most hosting sites will do it automatically for you, and I'll tell you what that means in just a minute. Here's WordPress. This is WordPress.org. WordPress.com is something different. This is where you actually can download WordPress and do it on your own manually. And WordPress.com, you can go and create a WordPress site through them, but it's two different sites. So if you're getting the package, make sure you go to .org and not .com. And then why do I have Joomla up here twice? I have no clue. And where is Drupal? I have no clue. So let's do this. Drupal. Okay, here's Drupal. Do I have that open someplace else? Oh, it's over. Oh, it's sitting over here. Well, what are you doing way over there, you bastard? Okay, and then I'll close this in a minute. This is just a Microsoft 365 Office backend to all the apps that you get through them. I just opened it just to show you that's Sharepoint's right there, but we already talked about that. All right, we'll get back to this. And if you're not getting all this and you're new to this and you happen to be watching this just to try to figure out which content management system to use, don't worry about it. I'm going to sum it all up at the end. You don't need to retain all this. This is just different ways you can do things. So as far as this is the open source content management system, which I already said. This is Joomla. So you can go there. And this is just if you're going to do it yourself. You wouldn't necessarily do this if you are new to creating websites and stuff like this. So you download the content like that, and you'd either upload it through what's called FTP, which I don't think a lot of people really use FTP anymore. I don't really use it anymore. I used to use it all the freaking time. And then you can just do it from your hosting site, and I'll show you both in just a second. But I just wanted to show you can go to these sites. You can download their package. There's WordPress 6.01. And where's Drupal? Try Drupal. Watch demo. No. Demo. No. I'm sure there are downloads or someplace. Where the hell is your downloads? Oh, there it is right there. Okay, and then using Composer. And we'll get into all that stuff. I'm not 100% sure about Composer either, but when I do the tutorial, we'll get into that and we'll explain everything. So those are the three content management systems. So for FTP, let me show you FTP. You don't necessarily need it. And it's kind of weird when I looked up FTP. Let me show you what happened. If for anything, I just want to show you this. So I looked up FTP. Oh, it didn't do it on this one. Oh, here it is right here. The first thing that came up is fuck the population. What? All right. That's not what I wanted. Just as I don't know, just a side note, if you want to go to this fuckthepopulation.com, if you want to check that out. This is a site I was looking for. It's the third one down after the advertisements. So you can download the client, you can download the server. We'll download the client. I don't have it on this computer because it's a new computer. So let me just show you how to do it. Yeah, you don't need Pro or anything. With manual, if you want the manual, I'll just download this. All right, do it right from here. And I can do a tutorial on this. I do have another tutorial that I did a couple years ago that was part of a group of WordPress tutorials that I did. I could do this separately, I guess. If you're interested, just let me know. We'll accept it. Okay, decline. So keep it. I'm glad I was reading that. When you're getting free source programs and software online, just make sure while you're downloading it, keep consciousness is what you're doing, because it's asking me to download some other type of software, which I don't want on my computer. So I'm going to decline this as AdAware Web Companion. Don't want that. Yeah, that's fine. Anyone. So just make sure you are conscious of the fact that they like to give you other software in some of the packages. And this is FileZilla has been around for 100 years. So it's all good. All right, so then you go into your file and you'd get, I think you go to Site Manager, and then you'd put in a new site. So you'd have to get the host and the port. And if that's complicated to you, I'll explain it just a little bit. It stopped raining and the sun is coming out. So this is a HostMonster. I already mentioned these a couple times. HostMonster, HostGator, Bluetie. Links are down in the description. They are affiliate links. The only reason that I recommend these three is they've been around for 100 years. And as far as HostMonster is concerned, I've never had one issue or downtime on this that I know of. There's never been downtime as far as I know. And then as far as HostGator and Bluetie, I've never heard anything really bad about either of them. And they've been around since I've been doing this shit, so, or pretty much close. So we want to get into the control panel once I sign up. Obviously, I've been in here a million times. My login and password are already hard-coded in here. Again, this is HostMonster. I think I said that already. All right. So as far as FTP is concerned, and right, what we just downloaded, what I just showed you that we downloaded. Geez, I got to remember how to do that. Go to Advanced. I mean, the interface, the backend interface for HostMonster and Bluetie, I'm pretty confident is kind of sort of just like this, if not identical. And there's cPanel, which they both had. This is called cPanel. So that's their back interface for the different apps and stuff like that. I'm pretty confident they both still have that. So where's FTP? I wanted to show you FTP real quick. FTP accounts. So you go to your cPanel or whatever. You'd look for FTP accounts, and then you'd create an FTP account. So I don't know. Should I do a new one? I don't remember passwords for these. Look how many FTP accounts I got like a fucking million. You know why? Because I don't use it that much, so I keep forgetting the fucking password. Wish, login. Okay, I'll use Wish. Sure, why not? And then is Wish already on here? I don't know. Those are special FTP accounts. Can you change? I'm assuming you can change the password and stuff like that. This fly is really fucking pissing me off. I'm gonna put my own password in here. And Wish. Okay, login Wish. Unlimited will create. Account has been created. So now I gotta find fucking Wish. Here's Wish right here. So we want to configure for FTP. So you can do a manual or down. I've never had any luck downloading these freaking things. So to save on sanity and time, I'm gonna use what's available right here. There's the instructions right there. You can download the file, and if you want to do it that way, let's just do it manually. I'm gonna move. Can I move this over without moving me over? Did I show back up? Oh, there I am. There I am. Hi, how are you doing? Okay, so so this has the information right here for me that I need. All right, so I'm going to get this over here. Just the only reason I'm doing that is so I can bring this up and show you. All right, Site Manager, we're going to just, all right, so we have to let's get this. So this is the username, FTP user. I'm assuming the server is, I haven't done this in a long time though. thinking that is the host, port 21. So the password that I put in before. And okay. Yeah, I'll save passwords. Okay. I just want to get back in here just to show you can change the name of this. Yeah. So come on now. Don't make me a liar. Always trust the certificate. Sure. Oh, I got to go fix that site. Is there oh, here's rename right here. Duh. Okay, so it's not connect. Okay. So yeah, let me bring this back over here because I made a mistake. And if you make a mistake, this is how you fix it. I'm just going to delete this wish that I created, this FTP. Delete the user's home directory. Yeah, please ensure that the other users, yeah, whatever. It's all good. So I'm going to go back and create again. We're going to create a wish again, same password and everything. Let me refresh so I can show you. Oh, now it's not going to do it. You bastards. Let me get out of here. Let me go back. Okay, FTP accounts. Okay. So it was automatic. It was by default, it was putting that in there. So that's the directory it's going to. There's no My Media Helper files in that directory. That's a new directory that's being created for this user. So that user can use that directory through FTP. They can only upload and download what they put into it or whoever has the login and password, right? So we're going to do wish again. And I'm going to make sure the same password is in there. And I'm glad I did this just because if you come against that, if you use FTP, which I'm not highly recommending. So I'm just going to get rid of that directory, right? And then I'm going to create it all over again. All right, it's creating the account. That's because it says it's creating the account. So I'm taking it for face value. Oh my God, hurry up. Okay, account created. Okay, it's still wish. So everything should be configured. So let's give it a try. All right, let's connect. Okay. Okay, and it's doing it again. So let's refresh. Okay, there it is right there. So if it does, it just hit that refresh. That's what that means, is refresh. So now I can go in and I can go to all my files through FTP and then upload and download whatever I want to. All right, so there's a secondary way to do that. So let's go back and let's go to File Manager. Now you should have a File Manager, depending if it's in cPanel or someplace else, who knows. And that's basically what we just looked at, right? That's basically all this shit is right here. All this shit is this shit. So we'll go into public HTML. So that's another way that you can get WordPress, Drupal, Joomla. You just create a folder, or you can put it on the main. This is, so right here, all these files are WordPress. I'm pointing, like you can see me pointing to the screen where my pointer is. These are all WordPress files. It's on the main directory because My Media Helper is my main site. These are all my subsites. So say we go into, where's Fan Film Follies? So we go into Fan Film Follies. So this is all not SharePoint, WordPress. Okay, and if I said SharePoint before, I apologize. I mean WordPress. So we'll go back up a level, and then we can just create a new folder from here, and then we can upload the package of Drupal, which I'm going to show you when I do the Drupal tutorial, or WordPress or Joomla, and then open it from there and then create the site. So that's kind of the hard way to do it. I'm going to show you the easier ways to do it right now. Now, once upon a time, you couldn't do it this way. You used FTP mostly. I used FTP mostly to get them over there, but everything's changed. I mean, we're talking 10, 15 years ago. I can't believe I'm saying 10, 15 years ago. Holy shit. So we'll go here. This is where the software is sitting. We want to go to, I just want to make sure we go into Marketplace. We're going to My Sites, domains file. So let's go to software. Softculus apps installer. Softculus. Let's go to Softculus, shall we? Okay, so this is basically an interface that will automatically install the software for you. So obviously we already see WordPress. So it's going to create, and once upon a time you had to create a database and link it to your content management system. You don't have to do that anymore. It creates a database for you. It's SQL mostly. I think Drupal uses SQL, and then I think other databases. SQL is just a database. Oracle's a database. It's just a kind of database where the data sits, right? I don't know. I'm not a database administrator. I don't know that much about them. I know SQL a little bit, but that's SQL actually, I should say. So WordPress and Joomla, and I'm assuming Drupal's around here someplace. Let's see if we can find it, shall we, Bebbers? I used to use that. Content management. Duh. All right, look at all the content management solutions is a good word, I guess, or programs. That I don't know if it makes your head explode. It makes my head explode. There are so many different ones out there. You really have to come to a determination of which ones you're using, and that's why I use WordPress. I'll probably use it until the day I die. There's Composer right there. That's actually for Drupal, but that's going to be another tutorial after this one. So it's crazy, right? There's Drupal right there. All right, and then you can just install it from here. So it does everything for you now. Whew. All right, gals and guys, we're going to end this magical journey this time out. This is what I wanted to touch upon is content management systems and how many are out there and what type of solutions you should choose for what you want to use. I don't know if anyone's familiar with these, then give me a heads up in the comments. Obviously, I've never used all of them. That's why I only touch upon the 3, Drupal, Joomla, and WordPress. Those are the most popular, the most used, and the ones that I know how to use. These other ones, I guess if you're interested in one and you want to learn how to use it, just let me know and we'll figure it out. Beyond that, that's it, gals and guys. I'm going to start Drupal tutorials next time. Around my other silliness that I post. I appreciate you as always. I hope you got something out of this. This was never intended for you to suck in all the information. I just wanted to do an overview of content management systems and what's available out there. And that was my goal. So please share this with people that are looking for a solution. This is mostly for business is what I went over. Small business, medium-sized business. Big business is not watching this video. They've got their own, they hire their own people for that. And please like this video. And if you didn't like this video, like it twice. And please share. Oh, subscribe. I would appreciate the subscriptions would be most awesome, and hit the bell for updates. And I start a new job tomorrow, so I'm not going to have as much time as I had. I had a nice month off, but if I was making money doing this YouTube stuff, I would tell the world to go screw themselves and just sit here all day. But unfortunately, I do have to go to work, and that leaves me less time for YouTube. So, but you'll see me more than you want. So I appreciate you as always, and I'll catch you later.